Hey everyone, welcome to Craving Something Scary, where it's all horror, all the time. Now in this video, I'm going to discuss some news on the Hayden Panettieri front that may have huge implications on Scream 6 and her character of Kirby. While the recent consensus has been that she's not likely to return in Scream 6, today's news opens up a huge door to the possible return of Kirby Reed. Let's go. So List 23 and other media outlets have reported that Hayden Panettieri has signed with Mainstay Entertainment for management. Now, while we do not have confirmation that she will appear in Scream 6 just yet, the timing of Hayden returning to the business by hiring a manager certainly looks like she could be preparing for all the legalities and logistics of signing on to a major motion picture. Now, Scream begins shooting on June the 6th, so again, the timing is incredible. If she's not going to be in Scream 6, this is a massive coincidence, and as I've stated many times before, when it comes to the world of Scream films, I'm not much of a believer in coincidences. So, let's assume for now that Hayden is back to reprise her role of Kirby in Scream 6. What could that mean for the storyline of the movie? Well, there's a couple of things that I think could be really interesting. The first avenue is if this movie does take place on a college campus, as I'm predicting it will, at McGill College in Montreal, which again is across the street from the production offices. It's being filmed in the summer break period, June the 4th or 6th rather, to August the 10th, which is right coinciding with the summer break on the campus. Of course, there'll be some summer classes there, but it's going to be a reduced amount of staff, reduced people there on the ground, so you'll still have that college look with people walking around in the background, but to a much less degree, which is what is ideal for filming a film. So that makes sense. And we also know that McGill College is extremely film friendly. So a lot of TV shows and movies have been filmed on that campus. They're very welcoming to the film industry. So you add those three things together, it's a pretty overwhelming argument that there's at least a decent chance we're going to see some of the film, if not the majority of the film, on a college campus. So with that in mind, if that's the backdrop for Scream 6, then how about we see Kirby Reed as a college professor? Yes, she is a teacher now after going through those events in Woodsboro back in 2011. She went on to get her degree in film, and now she is a film professor at the college. And this could take so many different routes. I mean, just imagine a class where Tara and Mindy, and even Chad, but especially Tara and Mindy, they're all in there, and here's Kirby Reed teaching the class about horror films and films in general. And unlike Scream 2, with the Wes Craven Scream 2, when they had a film class shot, it was just that one scene where Jamie Kennedy is talking about, Terminator, and talking about sequels. Very important scene to the movie, but it was just really that one scene. We never went back there again. One thing that can make this movie different from Scream 2, if they did the college thing, is that if Kirby is indeed a professor of film, or really it could be any subject. I'm just saying professor of film because it makes sense based on her character in Scream 4. If that's the case, they could make it reoccurring though, like recurring. So you're not just having one shot there, you're going to class multiple times. There's multiple scenes in the classroom. They could even have multiple scenes with Kirby outside of the classroom. Like, hey, professor, can I meet with you one-on-one? Because of Kirby's past with Ghostface, I could see a whole storyline going where you've got Kirby meeting with Tara, Mindy, and Chad, and even Sam for that matter, if Sam's a student, or if not, they just bring Sam in, and since she's her sister, Tara's sister. But I could see like them meeting outside of the campus to talk about the events of Ghostface, of Scream 4, and of Scream 5. and what they can do to help stop these new Ghostface killers. There's all kinds of scenarios you could write that could be really entertaining, a lot of fun to watch, that would have Kirby involved in multiple scenes. And then at some point, Kirby, in the final act, I can see Kirby getting involved again. She's actually there to help to stop these crimes, to kill Ghostface. And I hope that Sydney's returning. But as of right now, we know that Sydney is not, or Neve Campbell is not yet announced her return. So imagine if we don't get Neve Campbell back, and I hope we do. But if we don't, Kirby could serve as that Sidney Prescott type role, mentorship role that we saw in 5. That could be Kirby's role. That would at least soften the blow a little bit of not having Sidney in the film, in my opinion. So if you have Gale and then you have Kirby in that role, that could definitely make not having Neve there a little bit easier to swallow for me. Still wouldn't be crazy about the idea, but they would make it a little bit easier to swallow. So that's something to think about. If I was writing, that's one way I would take this. Kirby the Professor, and then also behind the scenes helping them figure out who Ghostface is now and being there to help take them down in the 3rd act. But that's not the only idea. The other idea I have was one that I've talked about a long time, for quite a while actually. It's the one where she is a psychologist and a professional counselor, where we find out that Tara and Sam, or just one or the other, is going for counseling, for psychological therapy to help work through the events that have just happened, all of the post-traumatic stress, all of the issues that are intertwined with such horrific events. She could be certainly be a professional counselor, having survived them herself. She knows what the victims are feeling. She knows what Tara, all 4 of them actually are feeling and have gone through. So who better to be in a place to help others than those who've been down that road before? So she could have also continued her education after high school, and she, instead of going down the route of film, she went down the route of psychology, to be a psychiatrist or psychologist counselor to help people with their lives to overcome crisis and become stronger. So this is something that I could see her also being very involved in Scream 6 in this role. I mean, could you imagine her giving, counsel to Sam and or to Tara throughout the film? We have some scenes where we'll cut to her office and they're talking about issues, they're talking about things. And then again, kind of like I said for the previous analogy, all they have to do is have her get involved once the killings start happening again. And all of a sudden she goes from just being that psychologist and counselor to now mentor and helping to stop Ghostface from this round of attacks. So it works. That part of it fits both scenarios. It's just a matter of which profession does she do, and I think they both work well. So those are just a couple of ideas I have. If we do indeed get confirmation that Hayden has signed on to Scream 6, and in the next 2 or 3 weeks here, we would probably get the news, because it's already April 26th. Filming starts June the 6th. So we're really down to the next 2 or 3 weeks. We should start getting a ton of news on the cast members for Scream 6. So guys, this is my idea right now for Kirby if she is to return. One of these 2 scenarios I think would work well. I think they'd be a lot of fun, and I personally would enjoy seeing her in either of these roles. But I want to know what you have to think about Hayden signing up for this management representation and the possibility of returning in Scream 6. I want to hear your opinions, thoughts, ideas, and theories. Do you agree with my scenarios? Do you think those sound good? Or do you have something altogether different in mind for Kirby if she comes back? I want to hear all about it. Let's start a discussion up right now in the comments section below. I look forward to that. Well, guys, that's going to be it for this update. I just wanted to get this news out to you as soon as I heard it. But I'm going to be back soon with more Scream and other horror movie content. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, this is Craven Something Scary, where it's all horror all the time. Thanks for watching.